going to do a quick little tour of where we stay here when we're up working on the cabin. This is our tiny house. I built it about 3 years ago. It's got a small solar panel and it's got a wood stove in it. And I'll show you guys kind of how that works. So this is our 100 watt solar panel. It came in a kit we got off of eBay. It was about $180. Came with the panel, a charge controller, and the cables. So the panel connects here. Got a little water station set up here for washing dishes and whatnot. The cables run out into this box right here, and then into the tiny house, and I'll show you that. Alright, this is the inside of the tiny house here. There's our charge controller. We actually replaced the original one because I left it outside and ended up in a puddle of water and no longer worked. But pretty simple, comes in through the wall. Comes up, connects into here. From here, runs underneath the seat here, just to a deep cycle marine battery. It's just a little cheapo Walmart one. It was like $80 or $90 or something. And then we just have this little station here, regular DC plug with a splitter. We have a small inverter here, so we can use AC electricity, a little bit of it if we need to. And this right here, this does the lights, charges phones, runs a small fan, charges computers. We got the lights on now. These little LED lights up here. There's also some underneath. We got some tape on them because they get pretty bright at night when you're watching movies in here. And we also have this little fan up here. And this works great for when we're running the wood stove. Keeps the heat down. And really doesn't use that much electricity. So it's a pretty basic setup, but everything we need in here. We got lights, fan to circulate the heat, we can charge our phones, I can charge my computer, I charge a Bluetooth speaker, all off of one 100 watt panel and one cheap deep cycle marine battery from Walmart. There's pretty much the solar system. Here's what we use to heat the tiny house in the winter, fall, spring, whatever. It's a small little camp stove. It's a Chinese made. I think we paid $90 for it. It's very cheaply made. I had to do some work on it to make it relatively safe when I installed it in here. It came with this little water jacket on the back of it. Works great for heating water. The little tube on the side there is for cooking like vegetable packets and stuff. I haven't actually used that yet, but I plan on it sometime. But we do cook on it relatively often. You just throw a pan right on the top of it while the stove is going. Makes a nice one-pot meal. And it works pretty good. The flue for it is only 2 3/4 inches, which for you wood stove folks is a little concerning because it's pretty small, creosote issues and whatnot, but I burn it pretty clean and hot, and I try and make sure that I clean the pipe a couple times a year. But just around it I put some Durarock up, some cement board, and then I actually space that with some metal studs and then put more cement board behind that, because it's so tight in this little 45 square foot cabin here that you had to put the wood stove pretty close to the wall, and giving that little air gap in between the 2 layers of cement board, it seems to stay pretty cool back there, even when you got it really cranking. Yeah. So here's our little camping cook area. We just have a little RV sink here. I pulled out of an old pop-up camper, and that just drains to a bucket. And if we need water, we'll just pour water in, you know, in a cup or whatever. I actually do have a DC powered pump that I'm planning on attaching to this so we could have pressurized water, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So it's pretty basic, just a little sink, little area to cook here. Occasionally we'll use a gas stove in here with the windows open. We also have a fire extinguisher right there. Haven't had to use it yet, but gotta make sure you get a good fire extinguisher. We got some storage underneath here, just for random stuff, a little bit of food stuff. There's the bucket, put some water under there, other various stuff. Up high here we got another shelf, just for storing knickknacks. Hang our mugs and our pots and pans and stuff there, a couple of books. Some weird thing my girlfriend bought at the local place downtown. It's actually kind of neat. There's cats in there. We like cats. There's some lights there. And then here are the kind of sleeping arrangements. Sit back a little bit here. This downstairs bed folds into a table, so the center comes up and the cushions slide out to the side, and then you can sit four there with a table and play cards or eat dinner or whatever you're going to do. And then the upstairs here is also another bed. We just kind of use it for storage because there's just two of us here. It's easier for us to just keep this down and do all of our eating and stuff there instead of keep adjusting it. But there is a second sleeping area on the top up here. It gets pretty warm there when the wood stove's going, but that's sometimes nice. But a lot of the times we just use that for storage, but if we ever have any visitors come over, they tend to take the upstairs bunk. Well, that's the tiny house tour. Hope you liked it.